Okay, it's time to show you our dirty little secret. But maybe you can get a little decluttering motivation out of this.
This is an example of a special note that you might want to keep a physical copy of. If it still brings up emotions for you, allow yourself to hang on to it. You'll know when or if the time comes that you're ready to part with it, but seeing my grandmother's handwriting and her love for me in this note is meaningful to me. So I'm keeping that. I frame a lot of the pieces that my kids make, but some of them I want to keep in storage for safekeeping. And this is why you should keep an open mind about your sentimental items bin, because over time what you want to keep in here is going to change. So some of the things from my own childhood or teenage years are less important to me now than keeping these items. And here's a drawing.
Well done. That's the last of it.
Hello and welcome to my basement. We've decluttered the basement multiple times over the years, peeling away the layers of clutter. However, the piles are starting to add up around me. It's getting a little bit chaotic in here, so it's definitely time for a decluttering clean. Let's get going.
When you're tackling a decluttering project, whether it's a big project or a smaller one, you need to break it up into manageable chunks. I call this zoning the area. So for example, in our basement, there are many functions that get covered here. My husband's office is here, my daughter's art studio is behind the camera, my office is beside her, my husband has a music studio here, there's a small gym right in where I'm sitting, and then finally our furnace room. So rather than tackling this multi-use area all at once on a Saturday or Sunday and just working for 12 hours straight, I prefer to break it up into the zones. So yesterday my daughter did her art studio area. That took about 30 minutes. Today my husband did the furnace area. That took him like 10 minutes tops. So for right now, I'm just going to be tackling this area. It's supposed to be a gym area, but it's become really dysfunctional because of everything that's been placed here. These are pictures from my father-in-law's home that we have to look at. This piece of furniture is actually getting decluttered and donated. And then there's some other items that just need to be put away where they actually go. So I'm going to focus for the next 30 minutes to an hour in this area only. I'm not even going to think about anywhere else in this basement. I'm going to tackle this, focus here, and then when this is done, we'll have 3 zones done, and I can move on to another one. So when I'm working with my zone method, what I like to do is go to the furthest spot in the zone and work my way forwards, and that gives me a sense of accomplishment. Let's speed things up. This area looks a lot better. In about 30 minutes, I was able to do a lot of tidying. These items I've moved here temporarily. They're John's, and I need his input. We need to sort these pictures from his dad's house. I think we can possibly let that chair go. It goes with a little table that my kids might have outgrown. I'll check with John on that. And then these are some of his personal items. I'm not sure where he wants them to go. The Dana K. White method is to put things away immediately as you clear a space so that you don't end up with things sitting around after the fact. But because I need my husband's input, it makes sense to have these items here temporarily. Okay, so I've taken everything out of the gray ottoman. I've put it all here on top, and there were also some cords back there that need to be sorted. And I've put them out like this so that they're easier to see. The ottoman itself is sort of a bottomless pit. It's black in there, so it's hard to see what you actually have. And laying it out like this will make it easier for my husband to help me sort. And I do need his help with this section because music is his area of expertise and not mine. We sorted everything on the ottoman, and I really appreciated my husband's help because I wasn't sure about certain things. This particular item he's going to try and sell on eBay, he said, and these go to garbage. There were quite a number of kids' instruments, and those actually belong upstairs, so that's where we took them. You can see here and here more music cords. They need to be tackled next time my husband's available, but that'll be another zone. Okay, hopefully some of this can be recycled, but I have a feeling quite a bit of it is garbage, unfortunately. And my husband, who is not usually much of a reseller, he usually is okay to just donate things, would like to try and sell this on eBay. So fingers crossed that maybe we get a little bit of cash for our clutter.
Oh, lots of cords, man.
Yes. These cords were in this gray unit that we decluttered a couple of days ago. And so for right now, John is just going to go through these cords and see if there's anything that can go, or if we just need to wrap them up nicer and put them away.
We sat down for these cords and there's a whole bucket of other cords.
Yeah, we also have another bucket of other cords that we need to tackle. And John actually has been pretty actively decluttering a lot of his tech stuff and cords, so I'm surprised we still have stuff hidden away, but here we are.
Music stuff.
Yes, music and tech stuff. We found one item in here that's actually not a cord. It's a,
Shoelace.
it's a black string of some
A
kind.
little shoelace for somebody. That can go away.
Okay. So I will help by holding things, but otherwise you
Okay.
are going to be sorting.
This is a guitar pedal. Somewhere is the power supply for that. That's specific to that thing. It must be in this bucket.
Okay. So we'll put that here for now.
I mean, like stuff like that can just go. That's a power inverter that I don't even know if it works anymore, honestly,
Okay.
and I don't care. Microphone cables. I wish there was a storage method for microphone cables. These are all from before kids' days when we played gigs and had a full band set up down in this basement before it was finished.
Yes, actually prior to this basement being what it is now, it was mostly a band practice zone.
Yet another computer power cord, just to get rid of it.
That can go.
Okay. So I've been keeping the big thick ones because I know those belong to things that need more amperage, which is like speakers and whatever, but they also work on computers and things. So if I'm going to have an extra one around, it's going to be a useful one. Oh, look, it's got a wrap on it too. Oh, look, and it's a good length, see? That's why you
Okay.
keep those around.
Okay, so this one is on the keep pile. This is our keep pile. We'll have to get some of your twist tie type things out to keep
Yeah,
these.
ugh. And it's braided, which
Okay,
means it
so-
doesn't tangle as much. Doesn't tangle as much.
Okay. There we go.
For the record, I hate this.
You hate what? The cords piles or
Both.
organizing them?
Both
Okay.
of it. I hate that I have to organize cord
Yes,
piles.
I know.
Let's put it that
So
way.
we're going to seriously figure out a permanent solution for John because this has been a major organization problem for him for years, and he's, as you can see, he's been just kind of throwing cords in bins and you know, putting them into the corner or hiding them somewhere, and it's just not very functional or sustainable long term. As a musician, having to untangle cords and things like that really slows your progress in being able to actually produce any music or anything like
yeah,
that. if
for the
you're-
rare times I have
Yes.
a jam and someone shows up with, let's say, an electric drum kit, we spend 45 minutes just setting up when, you know, look at this. Look at
Okay,
it.
so this is something I've untangled. So part of the issue with this type of item or this type of category is that I cannot, and I never have, but I can't try to sort any of this or just make decisions on this by myself because I don't know what John needs or doesn't need. I don't know which of these are expensive or not expensive. So for me to kind of come in and unilaterally declutter any of his items, especially of a music or tech variety, is just asking for trouble.
Oh my goodness.
We might need to pause to untangle some of these cords. Okay, so we sorted the cords that were here and all tangled up. I'm going to move these temporarily to the back so that we can have some space so John can look through that bin right there. And we can figure out if there's any duplicate cords or anything that can be discarded. He already has a small pile of items over here that can go. So we're making progress.
Back and go.
What is this?
I don't care.
This is for what? The Christmas lights.
Christmas lights or whatever,
Okay.
but we hadn't used that one particularly for a while. Some of the stuff came from my big video bucket, the one that we emptied. Remember?
Oh, no, I don't remember, but
You remember?
no. What is this?
That goes with that thing.
Oh, okay, that's garbage or e-waste or what have you.
Yeah.
We'll make a pile for the video cords over here until we figure out exactly the organization part of it.
Oh my goodness. Look, another one of these. Oh, you rotten.
Okay, here's another mouse.
This is silly. Yeah, that's garbage. Gone. Hateful mouse.
Okay, decluttering. It looks like I think it looks like there's more here than there is.
We might have to cut our way into this one.
No, I think this will.
Look at that good cord. Oh my.
Do you like puzzles?
Nope.
This would be a good activity for the children to do, untangle Daddy's cords.
Oh yeah, that'll go over well. Look, this is what makes it worse, is you get knots in the knot.
Yeah. This is a decluttering channel. I'm not really at my organization prowess yet. We've kind of been figuring it out over the years. John is a visual person, so hiding things away is not working for him whatsoever. But with regard to the cords, we are going to have to figure out a solution for him that's going to work better than everything tangled in the bin. Okay, I got this red one untangled. What is this one?
That is a guitar cord.
It goes with the other braided cord?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are sort of organizing these in piles back there.
Holy.
I'm gonna just try and get this braided one out, and then we can this one, oops, sorry. This one, it goes with the guitar cords.
Yep.
Okay, I'm slowly understanding what goes with what.
That would be my tip to anybody, is if it's a cord that comes with something, like an adapter.
Label it immediately.
Yep.
So you don't end up in a...
I've
John's
done.
actually usually pretty good about knowing exactly what goes with what, but now that we've owned some of these things for years, it gets harder and harder to actually remember what goes with what items, so.
This one, I think, is a declutter.
Oh my goodness.
So we don't have these anymore. When I had employees that used to come,
Oops. One of us at some point in this video is going to get hit in the head with a cord, I think.
see, that was for laptops that don't even exist.
Okay, so I'll put that on the go pile.
It's a shame. I mean, it's a $15, $17 cord, something like that. Okay, this one's a big HDMI.
I think I'm slowly getting this medium-sized one out. Okay. What is this cord for?
For a microphone.
Okay. So do you want this with your audio pile?
Whoops, that's 2 cords.
Oh, thank you. Now we just have a few small ones for you to look at. Actually, in about 10 or 15 minutes, we got through that, so that's good. If you don't even know, that one is probably a go then.
What I'll do is I'll take a picture of the end of it and look up what type of USB that is.
Okay.
Am I done?
Well, what else is in the bin down there?
Battery cover for the back of something. A battery cover for the back of some. A battery cover for the back of some. There's another box, but we're not going through that today.
There's another box of cords. Where?
There are 2 other boxes that I know of.
Okay. Well, these are the ones that I saw, so I wanted to go through these ones.
A couple things from baby days.
That can go.
That can go. Ow! Something very sharp. Ow.
Oh, these are thumbtacks. Those can go in the garbage.
Finger tacks.
Sorry. Okay, wow. Well, that's good. Done. So in about 20 minutes or so, we've sorted all the cords that he has shown me. Apparently there are 2 other bins of cords hiding somewhere. But we sorted through the cords. We have a pile of items that can go. We have some items that need to be put away, and we have to actually get an organization system in place for his cords so that we don't have to keep redoing this every few years, untangling cords and John trying to find things that he doesn't know where they are. So this is good progress. We're going to now speed things up so that we can just tidy up and get the things out of harm's. We're just going to speed things up and tidy up and get things to where they need to be. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of work in the basement after dark. The kids are asleep. I've got a little bit of time to myself. I've been trying to rack my brain to figure out where to, this light's actually broken, but we're gonna keep it until it's absolutely broken. But I've been trying to figure out where to store these little lights that go on the stands behind me. We don't always use them all at once, so there's sometimes these little bits that are just hanging around. So I think I've discovered a home for them in the locker storage over here in the gym. So let's see if this works. I'm happy to report that I think that back cupboard will be a good spot for my equipment, and the lights fit perfectly there. It was previously unused, so I think this will be a good home for it. We'll test it out for a little while and see if it works out. Don't always assume you have to get your organization systems perfect the first time. We've been in this home since 2007, and I am still constantly finding better ways to either organize a space or reorganize a space, or over time just get rid of as much as possible. So you really need to live in a space for quite a while before you actually discover the best organization systems for you and for the space. This system might not work for us long term, but we're going to test it out and see what happens. Try not to get so worked up about doing everything perfectly the first time that you end up doing nothing at all. So for example, for years, we just couldn't figure out what to do with my husband's cords. Ultimately, they ended up in a tangled mess in those bins that you saw, and we could have dealt with that a long time ago and made his life a lot easier, but we were stopped at that point of if we couldn't do it right the first time, maybe we wouldn't do it at all. And that really impacted the functionality of our lives for years, because there would be times my husband would be looking for a cord and it would be hidden at the bottom of one of those bins. Now I know when I pick up a cord where it lives. And that's freedom. These items, I know exactly where they go. Sentimental goes in our back room. Art supplies in the closet behind the camera. And the flashlight upstairs. So tonight, in the bit of time I had after the kids went to bed, I totally cleared the clutter on this couch. I really feel like it's important to break up your project into manageable chunks and break it up over many days and even weeks if that's necessary for you to make sustainable progress. Decluttering is a marathon, and it could take you many layers of decluttering in your home to get to where you want to be. So take your time and be kind to yourself. Inside of this closet is what's supposed to be a little bit of a utility closet. It has our electrical panel. It also has some of my daughter's excess art supplies, but that's okay. I knew that stuff was there. What I didn't know was when I peeked in here looking for clutter today, was that I had this huge bag. Okay, you're gonna have to come in closer. I'm curious to know in the comments how much wrapping paper you think a minimalist needs. Let me know. This area doesn't look perfect. You can see I've kept a few rolls of my 10, I think, that I had before. But my daughter's an artist and I'm not going to reduce her down to nothing. She really enjoys her different projects, so this is her sort of contained space for that. So not perfect, but better. We have another pile of cords that can go, and a couple here that he wants to sell, a few items. These are the bins we've been using to collate and organize his cords. One good thing about these bins is that it creates a limit, and we can tell when he has a lot of something. Not too bad on the networking cords. However, USB and adapters, that bin is full, and he knows that, so that's something he's going to be able to keep in mind going forward. We're making progress. I'm really happy for him to have yet another empty bin where cords used to be, and things will be a lot more manageable for him. I'm really proud of my husband because he's donating a full bin of usable cords instead of hoarding them for himself just in case he needs them. So somebody else can make use of these. And this bin of donations doesn't count the
full bin of e-waste items he's letting go of. So he's done a really great job.
Let's talk storage and organization. There's no perfect one-size-fits-all approach for every single person out there. What works for us are clear bins with labels. What doesn't work for us? Solid bins with labels. This says Christmas decorations. It was clearly full of cords and tech devices, so this is not a system that works for us. I am an out of sight, out of mind person, so if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. My husband is a visual person, so this is the best combination for us. This type of bin can create a pretty visual simplicity aesthetic, but it just doesn't work functionally for us. So this bin is also going. All of this, from the big box I'm sitting beside to the storage ottoman I'm sitting on, is all leaving the basement. I honestly can't believe that after doing this basement multiple times over the years, we've been able to find anything at all. But with time and experience, it gets easier to let things go, including cords that you may or may not have been holding on to for years. Welcome to the after of the declutter of our basement. This is by no means a minimalist space, but it is clutter-free and intentional, and it works for us. We did clear out this furnace room as part of one of the earlier zones of this basement declutter. However, I've temporarily moved some of the items from my husband's parents' home into this space until we're able to sort through them. These are my in-laws as children. Super cute. We didn't actually bring a lot from my in-laws' home, but we do need to sort through what is here now. You'll remember from earlier in the video that the rowing machine is actually usually here. However, my daughter plays the drums and she had her weekly band practice, so we shifted things around. As you can see, as part of my husband and daughter's hobbies as musicians, and because of the channel, we have quite a few bulky items that are hard to store. This is a teleprompter that my husband made for me for the channel. We kind of just have to shift things around in the basement to make things work. This is my husband's music area, and my daughter uses this space as well when she has her band practice. This is a pull-out couch from my in-laws' place. It's one of the more functional items we actually brought home, and it's been perfect for my daughter for when she has sleepovers. This is my space. When you see me in my talking head videos, you're seeing me basically from this angle. This is my studio space and also where I work from home when I'm not in the office. You can see here the mics that I received as part of the grant initiative for new YouTubers that Tim at The New Retired Me started. These I use in every single video. They've been really handy. So that's my studio slash office space. Directly behind my monitors is my daughter's art studio area. I do not restrict her creativity by limiting what she can have on her desk and things like that. This is her space, and as long as she keeps it relatively tidy, I'm happy. I don't believe that her creativity should be limited because I have chosen to be a minimalist. When I turn this way, you might recognize this. This is the corner where I do my donation decluttering videos for the Fast 5. So this is where I'm standing when you see me. And what I can see from behind the box is this. When we turn from the donation box to this direction, that's my husband's office. He does not only work but also gaming in here, so I try not to touch too many of his tech items, but we do clean and declutter in here regularly.
I hope today's video showed you that even though I'm a minimalist, my home is not perfect all the time. I live with other people who are not minimalists by choice, but who do strive to live clutter-free and intentionally with me. And so some of the spaces in our home are very simplified, and others, like our basement, are multifunctional and need to serve many purposes. And it's important to me that my family members feel that they are free to be me, free to be creative in the space that they also live. So this was our dirty little secret basement. It's not minimalist by any means, but is perfect for us. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, I love to hear from you. So be sure to let me know in the comments what you're decluttering today.